I have often been asked, what is the best way to keep in practice with astrology and not just practicing astrology? So in practice means frequently, daily, using it for citing different purposes and events. I found that horary astrology, that means by the hour of the day, is the best method to go. I have been using it ever since the age of 9, when I was understudied by my father, who taught me how to spot events and things, and whenever there's a breaking news, how to kind of cinch it in or relate it to the findings, and where do you spot such a development. The basic rule of thumb in horary astrology, wherever the sun is placed in for that particular day, you use the position of the sun as the first house, and then you move into the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh until you go up to the 12th house. Example, if the sun is in Aries, then Aries will start with the first house. You put 6 in the morning, 6 a.m. in Aries. It is not precise, but it is called the equal house system of horary time. You put 6 a.m. as the sun rises, it will probably rise 5 something and so on like that. But you are working on the basic structure. So you put 6 a.m., you put in the 4th house 12 noon, you put in the 7th house 6 p.m., and you put in the 10th house 12 midnight. Then you factor in 2 hours running to the 1st house to the 12th house. Like in the 2nd house, since you have 6 a.m., you go to 8 a.m., followed by 10 a.m. Then you have your noon, you go to 2 p.m., followed by your 4 p.m., then you're on to your 6 p.m. in the 7th house. Go to put the next one as 8 p.m., then the next one is 10 p.m., then you're into midnight. Then you go into 2 a.m., followed by the next sign 4 a.m., then you come into the 6 a.m. rising. So you have all the time zone for that particular sun sign location. And you do the same with every sun sign location, so that you will more or less know what are the time zone approximately. And as you get wiser and more profound in your knowledge, you can go deeper and more research into further areas. But best to get your basics right. And I found that many people do give about wrong signals. There was this client of mine who came to me and said, I'm not happy with my work. I think I'm in the wrong profession. I feel I could further feel with what I'm doing, and the people in the workplace are all rather hazy, and I cannot identify with them, especially in the kind of work that I would love to have done. I told her, you are sending out wrong signals. You are being paid for your work, and you should be just happy about it. You are not the boss, and you don't tell people what you like and don't like. If you have to and you need to, then keep it privately into family groups or friendship groups that are not related to your work group, because you're sending in wrong signal. The boss will look at it this way, and all bosses will look at it this way. One, you are not there for long. Two, you could upset the whole structure of the workforce. And three, you are non-productive and just a general casual worker, which you are not. And you're getting a high pay for what you're doing. But that will be translated in the signal. And when there is trouble time, you'll be the first to be fired. Even though you may have worked a long time, because you are giving the wrong signal. It is like a fish. When it gets belly up, all the other fish attack it. And they don't care whether it's of the same clan or of the same family group. But that's what always happens. I was at my home, sitting in my lounge, and it was close to the window that has a walkway outside from one apartment to another. I saw this lady creating rather a big pandemonium, yelling, "I want to kill myself. I'm fed up of life. I can't pay my bills. My family got no food." And with her was this little girl who just seemed to be frightened, but on the other hand, curious as to what the mother was up to. I looked straight onto my horary chart at that moment, and I found that for 4 p.m. in the afternoon, there was a Neptune-like planet which definitely ruled drama, pandemonium, illusions, and even creating a lot of dust and havoc. Then, from the time zone, there was Sun, Moon, and Mercury in the 12th house. So, Mercury shows message and signal, and it is not of a good kind, it is very complicated. The Moon shows of an emotional pandemonium and dramas and kick up hell, and playing its worst role. While the Sun, that rules integrity, independence, and so on, is just not there. It is showing the different side to the character, and not a straightforward manner. So having this running through my mind and observing the lady, the neighbors came running out, asking her, "What's wrong? What's your problem?" Then she took out a couple of housing bills that was unpaid. And he said, "I cannot live anymore because I just can't go on." The neighbor rushed to her home, came out, gave the lady a $100 bill. Another neighbor ran in, came out, gave a couple of $10 notes. And others were just running in and out of the house. And they gave her more than ample funds to settle the bill. Then they came knocking on my door. And they asked, "Can you help this lady? Can you spare some funds?" I said, "No, I do not have money." Then they went to the next neighbor, and every neighbor in the neighborhood actually on the same block have contributed funds, and I started to see a different body language, a different side to the woman who was creating all this fuss and confusion. Then later that night, words went around that I'm a Scrooge, a heartless person, not a person to be friend with, somebody who doesn't understand people and sufferings and so forth. I was castigated, totally exonerated from the community grouping. But I knew what I did was right. I had the astrology findings and background, and I had to play this one out in a sense that if I'm wrong, I deserve what I'm getting, and if I'm right, I will earn my respect. Three days later, I got a knock on my door. And the same lady that asked me for the money came and said, Mr. Rugdee, I am very truly sorry I misjudged you and have created a lot of unpleasantness for you. I say, it's okay. We all have to live and learn with situation. Then she said, you are good in what you do. But situation was so dramatical and tense that we were all hearts rather than head in the events of things. Then I told her, what bring about that change of mind? She said, some neighbors from the other block came over and was telling us to be very careful of the woman. She is a scam and a con artist, and she's been doing this in every block and got away from. So, knowing neighbors through greetings, they start to pass the word around. Then suddenly, I felt that, thank God, I did take a deep in-depth study of my own astrology so that I could protect or even myself or others in time of need. And this is serious business. You can't go around playing with hearts or expect to be just loved for just being kind. Kind and stupidity are just the opposite of side of the coin. So try my method of horary astrology and then use the planet for the day and cite the hour. You could be as good as I am, if not better, in finding events and making personal or business decisions or even critical decisions. But the most important thing is be true to yourself. If you're wrong, accept your views. And if you're right, you have earned respect. And that's what you want to do. My name is Roy Rugdee from Roy Rugdee channel. Cheers.